Hey guys, we are going to focus on subtracting fractions when you have to borrow. For normal subtraction of fractions, you can just refer back to these steps because they're all the same. You find the LCM, make equivalent fractions, and then subtract instead of add. The numerators, denominator stays the same, simplify, and don't forget the whole numbers. So if you need to, you can go back and copy these steps, but over here, I'm just going to write refer to adding and subtracting notes. Fractions, notes. All right. So the first thing that we did is we found our LCM. So looking for the LCM for our denominators 3 and 5. LCM 3 and 5. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. And for 5, 10, 15, and I'm stopping there because I found one with 15. You don't always have to do these if you know what it would be. And then I'm going to write my fractions vertically, 3 and 1/3, 1 and 3/5. Use my LCM to make equivalent fractions with 15 as my denominator. What did I multiply times 3 to get 15? I multiplied by 5. So I multiply the top times 5. So that's 5. 1 times 5. 5 times 3 is 15. So 3 times 3 is 9. So now I have my equivalent fractions. I'm going to go ahead and rewrite that. 3 and 5/15 minus... Oops, I wrote a big 9. That's not right. 1 and 9/15. Okay, so now we have a 5 minus 9, which is not what we see in subtraction. The top number is supposed to be bigger. So we're going to borrow from our whole number. It's a little bit different from regular borrowing. You're going to cross it out and change it to the next number. So now the 3 is a 2, but instead of just adding a 1 here, we're going to add 15/15. So we're going to add 15/15.
Because that equals 1.
Because 15 over 15 is equal to 1. I use 15 because the denominator is 15 and I want it to be the same. If I put the same number on the top, that is equal to 1. Remember, if you divide 15 by 15, that's equal to 1. So then I add those two together, and that gives me 20. That looks a little messy. So now my number is 20, and I can do 20 minus 9. So 20 minus 9 is 11. And then my denominator is just brought down, and 2 minus 1 is 1. I can't reduce 11/15. My answer is 1 and 11/15. So let's add those steps over here for borrowing. To borrow from the whole number, add I usually say add the denominator to the numerator. Denominator.
I was like, whole number?
I can't spell it either. Denominator.
I can't either. That's why we teach math and not spelling.
The numerator. I fixed
Miss Brown
it.
in here
It's
would tell us. Maybe
So
we should get her.
that's the shortcut to add 15 plus 5 is 20, and then subtract. Let's do one more example.
Do you want to put a 3 next to then subtract?
Yes, I do want to put a
Awesome.
3 because that's the next step. All right, let's do another example, and I'll switch up colors.
Do we want a step 4 of simplify or reduce if necessary? Do you want to?
Thanks, Coach Briley. That is an excellent point. Don't forget to reduce or simplify.
We didn't have to do it here, but you might have to do it in the next one.
And as always, remember your whole numbers. All right, is that good?
Yes,
Okay.
I love it.
All right. So let's do another example. Let's do 5 and
1/5
1/5 minus
3 and 2/5.
We're going to do the same denominator?
Sure, they know
And
how to find a common
2/5.
denominator.
Okay. So,
We just want to make sure they know how to borrow.
perfect. So we have the same denominator thanks to Coach Burley. She's being nice to you.
Yes, I am.
But we can't do 1 minus 2. So we get to skip that whole step of finding equivalent fraction, and we can just borrow here. So I'm going to cross out the 5 and change it to a 4. And then I'm going to add, looking at my denominator, I know I'm going to add 5, and I'm just going to match it to the top. So that's 5/5. So 1/5 plus 5/5 is equal to 6/5. And I'm going to rewrite 2/5 here. Just brought it over. And now I can subtract my numerators. 6 minus 2 is 4. Bring my denominator down. And then subtract 4 minus 3 is 1. So my answer is 1 4/5.
Yay!
That's it. Thanks, guys.
Fun, fun, fun.